All right, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. We got another plane crash down there in Florida on the highway again. So let's check out JLR just got done covering it. So we'll check out JLR's channel real quick and see what's going on. Look like a small Cessna, small plane, but let's get to the scene.
So it's a Beechcraft. It's a Beechcraft aircraft. And it's owned by Tailwinds Flying LLC. I'm going to see what this company is. The tail of it that we saw on the interstate was N95KC. All right, so let me find out what the company is to this aircraft. Tailwinds Flying LLC can refer to a few aviation entities, primarily Tailwind Air, a seaplane commuter charter service. Tailwind's pilot training. This is pilot training. No, that's the same company name, but that's in Mobile. Let me see if they actually, if this is it. It could be. This could be a pilot training company called Tailwinds Flying LLC. Holy smokes. Beechcrafts are supposed to land on the beach. Every time I put in this company, I'm just seeing a bunch of like.
All right, so it's a training company for flying planes. LLC insurance, probably. Ladies and gentlemen, for those that are watching, just because you have LLC insurance does not mean that you're protected if you do a crime or are wanted. It's just an insurance company. In case somebody gets hurt on your channel, someone gets attacked or whatever. It's not protection against you committing crimes, right? We've seen Mr. Shell do that. I'm LLC Corp. A lot of these people that have committed crimes might have businesses or whatever, or have insurance through LLC Corporation, but it don't protect you against crimes. What's up, Kelp? Let's go ahead and look at some of this. JLR is on
Air Flying Aviation Schools. So did they just send some kid up there to learn how to fly and he crashes on the 995? This is what it might seem like here. Could be the situation here.
My energy bill dropped from $150 to $50 by doing this. My friends laughed at me when I spent $49 on a power saver device that could cut my energy bill in half. They thought I got scammed.
Literally a plane landed on I-95.
I'll tell you what, Mr. JLR, he did a pretty good job. The plane looks intact. Both motors are there.
A plane literally landed on I-95.
No fire. The guy did pretty good, if you ask me. And my other question is, I wonder if that plug that we just seen the commercial really works and will lower your electric bill. I got so much crap plugged in. All right, let me check out my chat real quick. Dude, my dog got sprayed by a skunk tonight. Oh, tomato juice. Maybe he brought some skunk bud back home with him. You could smoke some of that skunk bud that used to go around in the 60s and 70s. That's what I want. to know. I don't. Yeah, tomato. How does the power saver thing work? I don't. You plug it in, and supposedly what it does is reamps it. It sends the circuit through and cuts it off, I think, and it's supposed to save you money or something. So you pull it out when you only want to use that circuit. So I might be wrong about that, Kel. You ran to PetSmart to get the electric thing? No. Well, I guess you could, but they say use tomato juice. But you might be able to get something at PetSmart for skunk. I'd say the plane looks in good.
Is that crazy or what?
It is crazy, Mr. JLR, and it looks like it's probably they survived it. Maybe, very possibly, these people survived it.
I'm gonna try to get information about the. They actually put a news report, but it was only like about 30 seconds.
Plane looks in pretty good condition.
A plane crash on I-95 in Brevard County. No information about the current condition of the pilot, but it appears to be 2 people on board.
You know, they might have been
with
doing
this information. 2 people aboard.
I'm guessing they probably were flying, just one of my theories, training somebody for night flight, which you have to use your instruments. That's what killed Stevie Ray. One of the great guitar players. That's what killed the Big Bopper. That's what killed Buddy Holly. Was they had guys that were trained to fly, but they weren't trained instrumentally to fly at night. We lost Stevie Ray. We lost the Big Bopper, Buddy Holly, Richie Valens. Numerous people that way. They were trained. They had the hours in flying, but they were not trained instrument. And they crashed. All right. I've been okay. I've been battling everybody. Kelt, I've been battling everybody just because I don't either go into their channel or don't agree with their chat or don't agree with what they're doing. You know, it's been rough, but I'll be all right. I'll be okay. Thought that plane was frozen or something. No. Hats off to the dude that was flying it because it looks like he didn't hit any cars. And it also looks like the plane is intact. Both motors are there and it's not a fireball. So this is something they probably walked away from. And that's always good. That's always good. I'd be praying if I walked out of that.
We'll go back to the traffic cam too in a bit. A plane crashes on the ice. It's not a funny matter, but it's like, holy smokes.
Well, this is the
Because that could
second
be
one.
you, me, anyone traveling along the interstate and some plane just comes and goes.
Now, folks, I tried finding this. I don't know how JLR does it or ICMO, but they're like the first one on it. I looked. There ain't no news on it. Nothing new. There might be now. You know, I think it's been like an hour or so, a little more. But I checked and didn't see anything, and JLR was and ICMO were running it. So them guys are pretty good. They know about shit before YouTube, you know, before the news puts it out. So it's pretty good.
And lands right on top of you, or you plows into you. You know, But believe it or not, the road systems were designed for this case too, just in case a plane would ever need to crash and use the roadways out there in America as a landing strip.
Well, you know what we should be doing? Maybe putting more runways out there
Let me see what West 2 News
where these people can
puts out
land
there.
instead of the freeway, or our freeways need to be
West 2
equipped
News.
with an airplane emergency
We
lane
might go back to the scene here. Boots on the ground.
where a plane could land. Does that
It's
sound
crazy.
Does that sound logical? Instead of just dropping the plane there?
I-95 plane crash.
Mother Green and the butt kicking machine. All right, now, does that make sense, Cal? I'm just asking you. I know you're a stoner, and that's okay, but your opinion still counts. Instead of them, because people driving down the highway are not always going to see a plane. That looks like that plane's going to land. Slow down. I mean, they do, but ain't you like putting other people at risk? So wouldn't you think it'd just be easier to place small runways along the highway or away from the highway in fields where there's nobody at? Where are these planes can make emergency landings? And how do we do that, Johnny? Well, we build these runways and then we put them on our GPS signal, and then we run that signal to the tower, and it shows, it sends out a radar signal back to the plane, and the plane would see all these emergency landing places where if they're having trouble, they can ditch the plane. Now, I know a lot of people probably don't think that's too smart, but I think it would be a great idea.
Have you noticed the National Guard in the news lately? This is a USA Facts quick take to give you some background. The National Guard is a unique part of the U.S. military. It is made up of Army and Air Force units in every state, some territories, plus Washington, D.C. Guard members usually
I know one thing.
Oh.
I'd be praying to
Ripping the engine up.
Yeah, the plane looks in great condition still. Now, possibly it lost a motor.
Brevard County.
I think it might have lost a prop. No, it's still there. Everything's contact.
N95KC.
I'd say the guy did
Tailwinds. Hey, PGH. Nice to see you. Thank you.
N95
Nice to see you
KO
as always.
or KG.
412.
KC. KC.
Pittsburgh. 412.
N5
412.
95 KC.
N95KC has crashed in the middle of I-95, Brevard County, around mile marker 201. And we're watching the emergency response to the situation. You're going to have to tow it. They're going to have to, towing it.
I think they'll probably have
More craziness with the planes.
a flatbed come
The
along
plane.
and throw the plane on there. Hopefully it'll make it down the highway.
Check it for cocaine.
It looks like,
Check it for drugs.
yeah, well, then there's a good idea. You might want to check it for the
Yeah, I was reading a case. Speaking of planes and drugs, there was like this major drug group of individuals that would fly cocaine from like Central and South America to the Florida Keys and then fly it up to like Mississippi and Alabama. And it was like they got busted. There's a major group of individuals
Yes, that was Barry Seal.
back in like the 80s.
That was Barry Seal. He was.
They all got like life in prison. A lot of them did.
Yeah, that was Barry Seal, Pablo Escobar, the Yayo brothers.
This seems like, though, this is more centered around a possibly a flying school.
Why should we make HIV such a boring, ugly, sad thing? We also want children to learn and play.
Well, you might be right there, Mr. JLR. Might have been, you said there was 2 people on board, so there's a good chance he was training somebody for night flight, for reading the instruments and stuff, and maybe something happened. But I can tell you this much. Look at the shape of that plane. I don't even think the metal on the bottom's buckled. So whatever the dude did, he did right. Because he walked away and the plane is in still great shape, and them planes ain't cheap, I'll tell you that. There's very well good chance you might be able to fix that plane and get it back using. All right, let me see. So did he pass or fail? I don't know. Kel. We don't know the situation. I'm just giving my theory or my speculation of what might have happened. Being that it is a training school plane, they might have been training somebody, or it's possible, as someone said in chat, Mr. JLR's checked the plane for cocaine. Well, yeah, which they probably do that. That's going back. They have a authority over it now that it's sitting on a highway. So, well, nobody died. There's no fiery crash, no cars burning, no people, no one on fire running around like Ricky Bobby. So all glory goes to God for that. And is a coincidence? Nothing happened. Good pilot. Were they low to the ground, not going real fast? And we don't know yet. I'm sure they'll let us know that. Kel, you want to say anything? I might have another video scheduled tonight. Possibly. Anybody wants to throw anything in there, go right ahead. But I'd say it's a good night, especially for the pilot. Not a lot of gas. Well, this guy might have knew what he was doing and dumped this fuel. Maybe there wasn't a lot of gas. Maybe they did run out of gas. Maybe he ran out of gas. You're right. Possibly. Anything's possible. And even so, the guy still, did a good job. Not taking people out. On the conditions, I probably would have him on the news. How'd you make it out of it? I don't know. Did you know what was happening? Oh, I knew it. But in my brain, there was nothing I could do. Froze up. Dumped the fuel. At 500 feet. Said a prayer. Pulled back on the joystick. Put my head between my knees and kissed my ass goodbye. And the next thing I know, we came to an abrupt halt. I mean, I'm no hero. But if you're giving me the key to the city, I'll take it. And a free dinner. But that's a whole nother video. Yeah, why? Kel says, yeah, why hasn't he been on the news? Well, it just happened. It just happened. All right, there we go, folks. Let's see if they do bring in a flatbed to move it.
We see you out there making holiday magic. From unique traditions to cozy celebrations, Blaine's has what you need for the season at
Plane crash. Now, we were told that 2 people were conscious when they were taken to the hospital. 1 person was transported via Air One, the other person by an ambulance to the hospital. And we do have someone here with us, William. William, I'll bring you in right over here. William, you know, you saw the plane right over the DeLand High School.
Yeah, flew right over top of the high school, and I saw.
What a mess. Another one I was talking about here.
It don't look like it's going to show. It does show a traffic jam.
Hate to be in that mess. Dude, this could go on for hours.
Wow.
Literally could go on for hours. Here's another one. I'm just sharing different ones.
What
198.8.
jam.
In the distance, you can see all the lights. This is crazy. I love these traffic cams, though. A lot of these interstates have them.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it don't look like they're going to show them towing it away. The other footage was from another plane crash. And keep an eye in the sky, man. That's all you can do. I mean, if you've seen how many planes are flying around, it's unreal. All right, you folks have a great night. I will be back with more content here shortly, either a fire or, I don't know, maybe Xbox or something. Let me see what Kelt said. Dude, they could have put a sign up telling cars to get off earlier on. No, they could have. They could go back and start redirecting wherever there's an exit and start letting people unload on the exits. Other than that, yeah, you're right. They could have. But it just happened, Kelt. And something like that happens within minutes. You're going to have miles of traffic, right? If it comes to an abrupt halt, within minutes, you're going to have a big line. So it just happened an hour ago or something. Or 2 hours ago, maybe. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah, they could be letting people get off on exits or broadcasting it saying stay off the highway. If you're close to an exit, get off. You know, you're right. But like for stuff like this, we should have U-turns. In case of an emergency like that, the police come out and we're able to use the medium to get traffic moving the other way. They can get on off ramps and maybe divert around that area, then get back on the highway. Is this the Twilight Zone? It could be. Now you're stepping into the Twilight Zone. This is a madhouse. Feel like being blown. Yeah, so it looks like a pretty big jam, but you're right, Kel. They could be getting out there. We need U-turns. We need big U-turns just for an emergency, right? Because if like there was a U-turn right there in the medium, the people that can make that U-turn, they can direct to go ahead and start moving traffic. And once it's slowed down, then they can have the vehicles in front of the U-turn back up and use the U-turn to go on. But by then, I don't know, would it help? Would it make any difference? Any faster? What do you do when there's a 50-car pileup? Or you do have a 747 that comes through and wipes out the... We need to start thinking for emergencies. All right, we are going to end this. I will be back with more content, either a fire or something. I don't know. The Summer Wells case is starting to pop again, but people are getting pissed off in that. Same old people going round and round. I think they sold their souls to the devil because it just keeps going around and around to the same people. Same drama, same mess. Yes, Kel, you have a good day. Don't get too stoned. Maybe you'll be up later. If I'm live, you're more than welcome to stop by, hang out. Have a good night. Be safe. Lock your doors and windows. And I'll be back. Make sure you go over to JLR's. I posted it in the description and chat.